Hey y'all. Today's lesson is about breaking even problems, break even. So a few steps. Number one, you're going to define your variables like we've been doing. X in this case is going to be whatever item you're talking about, and Y is going to always be your money. So when we're talking about money and break even problems, well, I'll get there in a second. Step 2, you're going to write two y equals equations. Before we were writing equations, x plus y equals something. These equations are going to be y equals. And then break even is when will they be the same, and when will what be the same. So you have a business. These are going to be kind of like real world business type problems. If you have a business and you want to sell something, then you are going to have expenses. Like you have to buy the material, you have to pay people to make whatever you need to do, so you have these expenses that you have to pay first. Then once you actually have a product and you're selling it, that is called income. And break even is when these two equal each other. That means you have an idea, you want to start up a business. You're going to start mowing lawns or babysitting or something like that. Well, if you want to mow lawns, you have to have a lawnmower. You might need gas for your lawnmower. And you're going to need a trailer or something to bring your lawnmower, to drive your lawnmower around. So those are expenses. You have to buy all that stuff. But then you're going to mow lawns and you're going to make money. And the money that you make is the income. So first you go into debt, you lose money, and then you start making money and you pay off that debt. So break even is when you're back to zero. So your expenses equal your income. So that's the definition of break even. Pause it to copy this down. Your dad owns a t-shirt company. He had to invest $1,500 on equipment and buy t-shirts for $3 each. He sells t-shirts for $20 each. How many t-shirts must he sell to break even? So we're going to define our variables x and y. Y is always our money. And x, you can always go back and read the question. The question will always tell you what you're looking for. How many t-shirts? So our variable x needs to be t-shirts. When we define our variables, that tells us what we're looking for, and now we can set up our two equations. And remember, for break even, we want a y equals equation. One of these is going to be our expense equation, so I see I put a little e, and one is going to be our income equation, a little I. So you have expenses and income. Now let's talk about expenses. What did this dad have to pay for first? In order to start this company, he had to invest $1,500 on equipment, and he had to buy t-shirts if he's going to make t-shirts for $3 each. Well, how many t-shirts did he buy? We don't know. That's our variable, and we have a variable x for t-shirts. So his expenses are $3 for his shirts, $3 for his t-shirts, x, plus the $1,500 he spent on equipment for his t-shirts. So $3 for every shirt plus the $1,500 on equipment. Those were his expenses. So to start, he had to spend a lot of money. Now he's going to make his t-shirts and he's going to sell them for $20 each. So his income is $20 for every shirt. And then I have my two y equals equations. Because these are both in y equal, the easiest thing to do is to graph them. Put them into y1, y2, graph them, and find the intersection. Second, calc, whatever. Find the intersection. And then it gives you an x value and it gives you a y value. In this case, we want how many t-shirts, so we want this x value. And I know I've done it. It ends up being like 88 point something to something like that. Can you have 88.2 of a t-shirt? No, you cannot. Therefore, you have to decide, am I going to have 88 t-shirts or am I going to have 89 t-shirts? Now, if you sell 88 t-shirts, that's not going to give you enough to break even. It's going to be too low. So the answer is 89 shirts. 89 shirts mean if you sell 89 shirts, that's going to pay back your expenses and it'll break you even. Break even. All right, copy this one down. An office cleaning company bought equipment for $315 and spends $4 on supplies per office. They charge $25 to clean the office. How many offices will they have to clean in order to break even? So again, let's define our variables. Y is our money. And in the question it says how many offices, so X has to be the number of offices. Again, I want two Y equal equations, and one is going to be expenses and one is going to be income. So let's talk about the expenses of the company. What did they have to buy first? An office cleaning company bought equipment and they have to buy supplies. So the equipment is going to be the vacuum, the mop, the broom, the little cart that you push stuff on, any kind of those equipment. But the supplies are going to be the stuff that you have to have every office, like paper towels, rags, Windex, Lysol, dusting, Pledge. Those you have to have every time. You can't just reuse the Windex after you've sprayed it on the window. So $4 per office, and X is offices. So $4 for every office plus $315 on the equipment. Those are your expenses, or this company's expenses. Now, the income, they charge $25 to clean the office, so 25X. And again, you would type these into Y1, Y2, and you would solve, and X is 15 offices. So you would graph these in your calculator and find the intersection. All right, example 3. Company A had initial expenses of $280, so these are expenses. They purchased $280, and they purchased t-shirts wholesale for $3.99. Company A sells the shirts for $10.99. How many shirts will it take to break even? So here's another t-shirt problem. We define our variables, and Y is always money, and X is the number of shirts. Y1, Y2, we have an expense and an income. The problem tells us the expenses are $280 and they purchased t-shirts for $3.99. So $3.99X plus $280. Those are all the expenses. Then they're going to turn around and the sells, not sales. They sell the shirts for $10.99. Once you have two Y equals equations, you would graph them, and X is going to equal 40 shirts for them to break even. So if they sell 40 shirts, that means they pay back their debt and they're back to zero, and then they can start making profit. We'll practice more break-even problems in class.